Hi everyone. I want to say happy full moon, but this Scorpio moon has been extremely intense. This has been one of the hardest weeks that I have experienced in my life. And I come with a very, very heavy heart. And I wanted to make this video today specifically because I know that the energy from this full moon has been extremely, extremely intense. And I know I'm not alone in that. And on Friday, so it's right now, a week ago on Friday, for any of you that know my precious Marlin, I had to put her down on Friday last week, and I have to tell you, it was soul crushing. Like literally soul crushing. And I know that this is a part of life, but I have seen so many of you beautiful souls, two of you in particular, that have lost your companion recently. And when I saw your post, I knew that Marlin's time was going to be coming, you know? She lived such a great life. But my heart goes out to you and to anybody who has lost their best friend, because when I want to tell the story of Marlin. And so when I first got Marlin, I was in a really heavy place in life, and the house was really quiet at that time, and we had just lost someone very important to us and in the home, and Austin was one, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go and get a dog. I've never had my own dog, and I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do. So I woke up one morning, I felt so called, and I'm like, today's the day. And I went to the Humane Society in Fort Myers, and I remember walking in, and I went around and visited with every single dog. I mean, didn't take them out, but like sat there and seeing how, the energy was and how they felt about me and vice versa. And every single cubicle that I came to, every dog barked at me, like just heavily barking, just didn't, was jumping, all the things. And so right when you walk in, if you're familiar, and you go and there's like the sinks and stuff, and right to the left where it starts, those cubicles, Marlin was the fourth one down. And I remember her just sitting in the corner, just staying in the corner. She didn't bark at me. She just looked at me almost like, I know you're going to walk past me, so there's no point of even, I'm just wondering how many people did that to her, and thank God that they did, because she was waiting for me. And so anyways, I sat there and I went and told a lady, and I said, I would really like to take her out. I was like, please. And they said, absolutely. So we went outside, and, she had her little Marlin walk. She's always walked the same. I know it's whatever, but like for me, it was like Marlin's walk, And we brought her outside, and they sat there and they said, why don't you kneel down and see if, how she responds, if she comes to you. And my precious Marlin, I'll never forget it. She sat there and I kneeled down, and she immediately came over to me and snuggled her head in my lap and just rested there. Like she felt like she was at home. And in that moment, I felt something just heal within my heart, and I said, oh my gosh, I want her, and I will be right back. And I remember I went over to the Walmart and I got her a dog bed, food, a collar, toys, like all the things. I was just so happy. And I brought her home, and I got to surprise Austin. And from that moment on, she was my soulmate. She wasn't just a dog. Like, she was my soulmate, you know? And her and I had the best relationship. We really did, because we would get so feisty with each other sometimes, but we just understood each other, you know? And I would talk to her like a human. Like, she knew what I was saying. She was so smart, and so loving. If any of you remember Marlin, I know Marlin touched your heart, because if you sat on that couch, she was glued next to you. She would not move. You would have to pry her off. She loved her snuggles. She just loved to love. And I felt like she was like a dog version of me, to be honest with you. You know how they say like some owners resemble their dogs? Well, that was Marlin. And she's the first pet that I ever had that I got on my own, that has literally been with me for some of the darkest moments of my life. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And she was always there. In like having to, the night that I knew she was really declining, you know, she had stopped eating, and it was really bad. And I laid with her on the floor the whole night, and I didn't leave her side. And the next morning, I knew, like, she was so tired, and I knew she was just trying to hold on for me. And I just had to make that call and said, okay, like, we need to take her. And luckily the vet that we went to, I think it was called Kindness Veterinarian, it was in Cape Coral, and they were so kind. But I remember holding her in the back seat, and she just, you could just tell, you know, like, she knew where we were going. And I just held on to her like a baby. And I was kissing her and telling her what a good girl she was and how much I appreciated her. And all the things and all the times that she was there, and just, she was an incredible dog. She was a human. But I remember me getting into that room and them taking her back to put her IV in, and then bringing her back to me. And she sat there and she looked at me for the last time, and she just kissed me all over my face. And like, I just could tell that she, you know, because we had like a telepathic connection. We really did. Like, I could communicate with her. And she was just telling me, like, it's okay, Mom. It's okay. And I'll always be with you. And I just didn't want her to struggle anymore, you know, and it happened so fast. Like, she was doing fine. And then just within like 3 days, she just declined. And I know that she was getting older, you know, but I was just hoping that I would have a little bit more time with her. And anyways, when the doctor came in, it's like, just like that, she was gone. And just my heart goes out to each and every one of you who has experienced this, because when I tell you, like, I was wailing, like, almost, like, I was getting angry, like, stomping my feet and, like, screaming out, like, no, no. And the fact that I know that there are people out there that are experiencing that right now, or have experienced that, that also makes my heart heavy, because this sucks, man. Every time you walk in the house, it's like empty. You don't have your little angel greeting you at the door smiling, because Marlin used to sit there and show her teeth, and she would smile. And like, just every morning, good morning, Mars, or good night, Moo-Moos. And that house is just not the same without her. And I know that I was so blessed that I had a beautiful family member tell me that, you know, we need to honor her, and like, this is her graduation, you know, like, excuse me. And it is so true, you know, like Marlin just, she was exceptional. She there are just certain dogs that are so rare, you know, that they will always, like, it'll be a little hole in your heart. And so this has been a really intense week for me. I have cried so friggin' much. You know, I was hoping that Gather and Bloom on Monday was going to work out just so I could be doing what I absolutely love and get my mind off of things. And then, of course, it decides to rain out of all days, no other day. And it's like, come on. And then just more intense, you know, emotional experiences this week. And I am just over here, like, exhausted. And beside myself. But, you know, I'm just really sorry, and just know that I am thinking of you, and I pray that it gets easier for you. And I know for me, it's going to take me some time. And because again, like, if you knew Marlin and you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. But like, if you knew Marlin, drop a comment, like, if you want to just like share your experience or like what you remember of her, that would be amazing. I'm trying to work on a video right now just to honor her. And of course, out of all days, on Wednesday, it was a really tough day as it is, and then I had to go, her ashes were ready to be picked up. And I'm just like, it's crazy to me that someone could have such an impact and live a life, and then they just end up in a box, you know? Like, so this goes to Marlin for being the freaking angel that she was, and just touching the lives of so many, and she changed my life. I miss her so freaking much, like so much. So my advice to you, if you have your baby and you have this divine connection with them, like, do not waste any time. Like, seriously, give the extra love. Let them be in the bed even when, you know, you're like, no, get off of the bed. Like, let them come and snuggle you in the bed. Take them on more walks. Bring them on every trip. Like, just really just look at your dog and just give him all the love that you possibly can, because I'm telling you, it goes by so much quicker than what you think. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've had her since Austin was 1. Like, she helped me raise Austin. She helped me raise my other 2 dogs that I used to have, you know? Like, she just, oh my goodness. But I'm so grateful that I was able to give her a beautiful life, you know? And that's the positive, to know, like, she knew how much she was loved. She really did. And I know she's in a better place. I know that she can just run wild and free now. You know, my grandpa came through, and he used to always sit on his recliner, and he loves to be comfy too. So I got this visual that my grandpa, pretty much was my dad to me, was going to be waiting for her. And then I saw them, like, you know, snuggling, and it just, that brought me some comfort, you know. But it was traumatizing. Like, it was so traumatizing. Again, I wish that nobody ever had to experience that. To just be holding your baby, and then when they tell you she's gone, and you're still holding her, and you're just like, what? That's it. And then you have to leave, you know, and just, I had her wrapped up in my grandfather's blanket, actually, and because I just felt like that was symbolical. And anyways, okay, thank you all for your time. I'm sending you all so much love. Any person who has experienced this, who had a just this divine connection with their animal. I am so sorry for your loss, and we will get through this, and we will honor them, and we will remember them. There's not a chance that we would forget them. And, you know, everything's going to be okay. And we just focus on the really positive memories of just, you know, everything that our babies did, you know, how they impacted our lives. And, you know, that's what I've really been trying to focus on. It was hard, you know, for the first like 4 days. I'm just like, all I could think about was what I saw, what I just experienced, you know. And now I'm just really trying to say, okay, you know, I have to accept that this is reality now. And let's remember Marlin in her happy glory days, you know, not when she was declining and at the vet and all those things. So anyways, thank you so much for your time. I know this is a long video, but I wanted to express myself, and just again wrapping this up with the full moon. Like, the energy has been super intense. I'm a Scorpio moon, so there's just been a lot I'm being hit with right now. And then I know that none of this is happening to me. It's happening for me. I'm growing. I'm learning. I'm rising. Despite every time I get knocked down, you know, I get back up, and I'm going to continue to do so. Because Marlin was a fighter too, man. Like, gosh, she was so freaking incredible. I'm never honestly gonna be able to find another dog like her. Yes, I will of course be able to bond and all those things, but I'm telling you, there's always just this one. There's always one that you have in your life that it's like, it was almost like God created her for me, you know, and me for her. So anyways, okay, sending you all so much love and prayers for if you're experiencing this heaviness, and just, I pray that you just breathe, and you allow yourself to grieve. Grieving, there's no time limit. Like, you don't have to rush your healing, okay? If you need to sit with it, if you need to cry endlessly, it's okay. Give yourself grace. You just lost someone in your life that has been your companion for almost 16 years. I don't know the length of how long you had, you know, and what a gift. Like, I have to remind myself of that too. Like, I'm so blessed that I got that long. Such a divine dog, like, you know, that was mine. And so anyways, okay. Have a wonderfully blessed weekend to each of you. Again, I'm squeezing, giving energetic hugs to those who I know who has lost their companion, and to all those who, you know, because it doesn't matter. Even if you lost 10 years ago, my heart still goes out to you, because at some point or another you experienced what I have just had to experience. And it is awful. I do not wish that upon anyone, not even my worst enemy. Like, it's just, it changes you. It really does. So, okay. All right. I'm done now. Really, I am. Okay.